Alex's episode 7, and today we're making homemade cinnamon rolls. And this is my assistant Marissa again, and also I have another special guest, and she is my grandma Iris.
Good morning.
And
are you ready to make cinnamon rolls?
Yep. And actually the first thing that we're going to do is make some cinnamon sugar. So I've got 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So we're going to put like about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, of ground cinnamon. And we might need a little more though. So yeah, maybe like 3 teaspoons of cinnamon.
If you hold this, what you can do is you can look in the glass and see if it's all mixed up.
Yeah. So as you can see, you should actually mix it all up by looking at the glass and seeing if it's all mixed up. So now what we're gonna, and the next step is to get 4 cups of pancake biscuit. It's not like a pancake. Because it actually is. It's actually meant for pancakes.
Do you have scissors?
So,
Oh, it's open.
So now we're getting 4. You might get open there, but if you don't get open it, then it can't.
This is a 2-cup measure.
So, it does look like flour, but it's not flour.
Do you know what biscuit is?
Like it's basically biscuit is basically pancake dry, the pancake dry mix. And then we're going to add 1 cup of warm water. So now basically all we're going to do is mix it into a batter. And you might need more water. Sorry, we might have got this wrong on the water, but
Well, every place you do it, you might have a different amount of water depending on how moist the air is or how dry the biscuit is.
Okay, so as you can see, here's our dough. So now we're going to knead it 10 times. So we're going to need a little bit of flour just on your counter to work with it.
And on your hands, too.
And on your hands. And then now we're going to take this batter.
It's called dough.
Dough batter.
And you put a little on top.
Yeah.
So you don't stick it.
So now
you want to make it into a smooth ball.
Yeah. Marissa. Stop. Marissa. Stop. Okay, so now we're going to get it into. So you might need kind of a lot of flour because it's already starting to stick. Yeah.
And you want it to be sticky in the beginning.
It is sticky. Okay, so it got a little sticky, so we washed our hands, and then you need to make sure you put a lot of flour on. So now we're gonna knead it 10 times in kind of like a working space. So
you put flour underneath, fold it over, And you move it, make sure there's flour. Okay, that's 1.
And then you do that 10 times, so 2. 3. I'm putting all my flour over here.
You can also fold it, turn it, and fold it.
4.
Pick it up this
Yeah.
time.
9. And then here's our last one, 10.
If you've done it right, you'll see little blisters. What you've been doing is putting air in there. You can see, if you pull it apart, you see little air pockets.
Right.
Okay, so we know it's ready. Now we put a little more flour down on the counter. Marissa, can you put some flour on the counter? Okay. And now we roll it out with the roller hand. And we also put flour on the rolling pin. Okay. And we're going to make a rectangle, a big rectangle.
Believe it or not, this is actually my first time making this.
Yeah, but
Cinnamon
it's
roll.
not
Let's
hard.
turn it over.
But the filmer, my dad, he used to have them every weekend when my grandma made them. And he actually used to make this glaze that we're going to make right now, that we're going to make while the cinnamon rolls are baking.
We want to get it as thin as you can so you can get a lot of cinnamon sugar in there. That's good.
And now we're going to take out some soft butter.
Marissa, can you hand us the spatula, please? From the handle? Okay.
And we're going to take it and spread it right here. This is actually...
Being careful not to tear the dough.
Yeah, being careful not to tear the dough, but make
You
sure...
can put a lot, you can put more on.
But make sure the butter is soft so it's spreadable. So then you could spread it in one
All over.
nice layer. So when you think it's all coated, then you can put on the cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
So now we're going to put the cinnamon sugar that we made earlier and spread it.
Just sprinkle it. You don't need to spread it.
And sprinkle it all around the whole entire dough space. And you don't have to worry about spreading the cinnamon sugar evenly because you might want to have some like big chunks of cinnamon here and there, and then maybe but you do want to make sure you have some cinnamon in every single bite. So
Lisa's doing a good job.
so you want to make sure that you coat it everywhere, but just don't worry about coating it evenly.
I'm doing good.
You are.
Okay, so I think we're done.
Right. Let's roll it this way.
What do we even?
Okay, you
What
start
are we
really,
going to do with
you start really small, and then
You get it, and
if
then
you
it's
need more flour on your hands, you can put more flour on your hands. But you want to squeeze it so it's tight.
so and there's no such thing as too much flour on your hands, basically, because if you have a bunch of flour on your hands, that means it's impossible for the dough to get on you, and you never want dough to get on you. So basically all we're doing is we're rolling this up and pulling it back to make it tighter. So as you can see, I'm pulling it back. Okay, so now we have a giant cinnamon roll, but now we're going to cut it. So here.
I think you cut it about 3/4 of an inch.
And
Oh, tell them about the pan.
So now we need to get a pan with parchment paper, and we need a 450-degree oven to bake them in. And we're just going to put the cinnamon rolls on the pan,
And they can touch each other.
and they can touch each other, and they're going to bake for about like 10 minutes, and then they're going to be ready to eat. But while they're baking, we're going to make the sauce. And as you can
Called a
see,
glaze.
the sauce or glaze. And as you can see that there is some cinnamon sugar, and it's starting to look like cinnamon rolls. As you can see, the cinnamon sugar, there is.
This is not a breakfast.
Because it's actually 11:40,
Yeah,
so it's more like lunch.
Yeah, it's like a lunch probably. Right?
Or brunch.
Or brunch, yeah.
Lunch. But we cut the week. This is gonna be all lunch, right? Alex.
And you'll figure out that you need flour on your hands.
Yeah, you're kind of.
If you don't, because
I'm putting flour on my
we had a little bit of a situation when we were off camera, when we barely put any flour on our hands. Okay, so now
It's gonna
4:50.
now what it look like.
So now it's 4:50 for 10 minutes.
Right.
They're going to expand.
Okay, so the cinnamon rolls are just getting out of the oven, and so I already made some of the glaze. But basically, all you do is you make a little hole and add
I made the whole.
1 or 2 tablespoons of water. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stir it.
Stir it.
And-
Stir it is a round circle. Yeah, that's it.
Until it becomes a glaze, which I've never done before, but I think we might need more water. It depends on how much powdered sugar we use. Like, we basically filled up this entire bowl, but if you just use a little bit, then it will be fine. Stirring it until it is smooth, and this is still a little bit chunky. It might take you a while, but now it looks pretty smooth. So, and the cinnamon rolls are out. Here are a couple. So some of them just a slight drizzle. You just drizzle them right on, and then there are your cinnamon rolls. I hope you enjoyed my video, and now we're going to take the rest of the cinnamon rolls off and then drizzle the rest of them with this sauce.
With this glaze.
Thank you for listening, and that's basically all that we're going to do.